Hello, welcome back to episode 3. We are still talking about Pear Deck today, and this week we are talking about student-paced learning. So I can set up a Pear Deck to be completely interactive with students without having to have a teacher up front running the whole presentation. So I'm going to show you a couple of things that you're going to see in the student-paced presentation. The first one I'll show you is what the student would see if they would log on to your presentation and what they would go through on their screen. And then the second thing I'm going to show you is the teacher dashboard and how you can check up on your students when they're all finished. This is a Pear Deck that I use in my classroom. I have this as a student-paced center. So they're going to do a phonics-based one on the TH diagraph, and they do this completely independently, no help from me. This runs all on its own. So here you can see all the slides that I've already made here on the left. Lots of different interactive things just to keep their attention. And let's go ahead and start one. So over here I'm going to push Start Lesson. And it's going to open up for me. It's going to ask me either student paced or instructor paced. So for this one, I'm going to do student paced so that the students are all on their own. They don't need any help from me. They are completely independent. So it's going to launch the presentation for me. Then it's going to bring up my teacher dashboard. And then it gives me a link here that I can share it to my classroom just by clicking on that link, or I can just copy the link and send it that way. So I actually already have this open over here. And here we have my first slide. This one is a video here, so if they click on it, it opens in a new tab, and it has the YouTube video right there. There's my phonics team TH. So after they're done watching, they just X out of that tab and it takes them right back to the presentation. Down here are going to be your toggle buttons, so you move through the presentation using those two arrows, and you can also see your progress here in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the next slide. All of my blue ones are direction slide, but you can do whatever you want. I also have included audio in each of my slides because some of my second graders are not independent readers quite yet, so they need some help. Some of them are, so if they can read this on their own, then great, but if they need it read to them, down here in the corner, that's a little headphone icon. They just click on that and click play. Let me turn my volume up. Click play to hear it read to them. Do the following words have the or sound? Okay, so there's nothing else for them to do on this screen, so they're going to come over here and toggle over. Now you see that in the middle, I have my progress, but now I also have that's a touch screen, sorry. I also have this little square here that's going to tell me when I've completed it. So this one has an audio included, and they're going to listen to the word and say if it has the TH sound. Then. Okay, so the word was then. They're going to click on yes, it does have the TH sound. It says that I've completed it. Now this does not give any feedback to them, so if they would say no, it would still have a check mark there. It's not grading it for them. It's just telling them that it's completed. I actually like this a lot because then they can't just change their answer. I can really see who knows what they're talking about. Okay, same thing here. Eat. Eat would not have the TH sound, so I'd push no. You can see that yes, I have it marked, and I'm going to keep going. Now there's a couple of these just so I get the practice in, and we'll go to the next one. Here it says underline the TH diagraph and read the words. So that's just a direction slide again, and it does have the audio there. So I'm going to go over here, and now I have my canvas. So I'm going to pick whatever color I'd like to, and I'm going to just underline the TH. Just like that. And then they would read the word bath. And you can see as we go, there are more words for them to underline. And they read the word. Here they're going to listen to the word and then write it or type it on the slide. So they listen down here to the word, I say it, I sound it out, and I say it again. So here they have two options. They can either draw it with their mouse, which can be a little tricky if they don't have one of the actual plug-in mice. Like so. Or they can click the text bar, and I do tell them to size it up because it is pretty small. So they can click on the screen and they can type then. There's a couple of those as well. And then the next one, they're just going to highlight the TH digraphs. We're going to toggle over to our highlighter here. And they just highlight the words with the THs in them. Like that. And they're going to go through the whole story. Obviously, you're not going to watch me do that. And then after that, there is a comprehension question for them, so that if they can't read it, they can have it read to them. Beth gets sick from eating too many what? And then it was too many hot dogs. And then there are no more arrows here. I see I'm at slide 20 out of 20, so I'm all finished. There is no turn in button here, so even if they don't go anywhere to turn it in, it still comes to you. So they just X out of the tab, and then they're done. That's all they need to do. So we just talked about what the kiddo sees on their screen when they do student-paced learning here, and we're going to transition now into what the teacher sees on the teacher dashboard. This is where you see all the responses and everything that they wrote on their computer or drew or anything that they did interactive on their computer. It gets sent to you immediately. There's no turning in, there's no having to push a button to send it to you. It just comes to you automatically. So let's check out the dashboard. Here I'm at the teacher dashboard, and this is what I use when the kiddos are done. So they've finished everything, they have no more slides to do, it all comes to me. I can see everything that they just did on their computer. Here on the left are all of the slides that they were working on, and then you'll get a nice big preview here in the middle on the right. If your slide did not have any interactive pieces to it, it will just stay a preview. So just like this one in the direction slide, there's nothing for me to click on. However, when I go down to, let's go over here, when I go down to the interactive slides, I can now see the overview overlaid. So this is all of the answers together. So I can see, I'm going to flash this really quickly because I don't want to do student names, but I can see real quick who gets it and who does not. And then I can also go over here to grid layout, and I can see who answered what. So then I can just go through and I can see who gets it and who does not. So that's pretty fantastic. So that does that for all of those. You can just read through here and get your answers. And then I do the same thing here. I can get an overlaid, so I can see that all my kiddos are getting where the TH is. I can see a grid layout, which gives me all of my kiddos in a smaller format, or I can also come here to list layout. I'll make sure that my last names are covered here. I can go to list layout, which gives me the student down here, down below where my hand is, and it shows what they did on their computer screen. A little bit bigger so I can see. All right, so we can go through all those. You can see they're finding the THs here. Okay, now we're coming to where we listened to the word and wrote it on the slide. Here I can see an overlay, so you can see all the different ones, but you'll see that the word is then. We can do it with the smaller screens, but the problem with this one is that my text ones are really difficult to see because they're so small. So in order to find the text ones and what it says, I go to list layout, and then I can see, and the student name is under this, but I can see what they typed. So there's a couple of those. And then the highlighting, of course. This I can see individual, I can see a grid layout, or I can see an overview as well. And then finally that comprehension question at the end. You can, I'll try to scroll really carefully here. You can also see who has not responded to this, so maybe they skipped it on accident. You can go back and have them fix it. But down, if you keep scrolling down, it has their names below that as well. So, very useful. I love it so much. So as you can tell, I am a big fan of Pear Deck. I love how easy it is to work with my kiddos and for myself as I'm building them. And I love how interactive and fun it can be for my students. Every time we get on Pear Deck in my classroom, they always cheer. So that's always a good sign. If you have any questions on Pear Deck or anything related to this technology-wise, just let me know and I will help you out the best that I can. Have a great week.